Hey everybody, welcome back. Last couple videos we've been telling you about a bad company, Monster Transmission, and I made a couple videos, and like I say, I'm finished with that. And just like I bring you the bad companies, I want to bring you a good company that I've had fantastic results with. I would recommend them to anyone, easy to deal with. And what you're looking at here are a couple Chelsea PTOs for our Cummins diesel SM465 combination. We're running that winch. In previous videos you saw that all-state winch that I restored, and I needed a two-speed PTO, and I'm going to try and show you this one here. When I spin the gear, that's in neutral. Spin it that way. You can see the shaft spinning in that direction. And shift this way, and the shaft spins in the other direction. Now you need that for a winch. And this is what they call a 352 series, two-speed unit here. So when I was looking for this, First I started looking for a used one. These were common on GM trucks that had winches on them. Apparently there wasn't a lot of them, but they were used back in the day. I found some used ones that looked like they'd been stored underwater. Some guys had some used ones, completely rusty and beat up, and they wanted more than a new one. It seems to be the case these days. I don't know why. So I said, I'm just going to go. They still make them brand new. I'm going to get a brand new one. This project is really going along great, and I wanted new components in there. We've got that Cummins 4BT right from Cummins, brand new. We've got the SM465 that I completely rebuilt. The Dana 18 is completely rebuilt. Advanced adapters, overdrive on there. PTO. We've got the whole 9 yards. So a lot of guys carry Chelsea PTOs. So I emailed everybody, told them what I was looking for. Probably about 6 different companies. And nobody responded to me. A day later, a company called Force America Distributing, LLC. The main company's out of Minnesota. Somebody got back to me from their Pennsylvania branch, David. We talked a little bit through email. He knew exactly what I needed, and he put the order in with Chelsea because they had to make it. Okay, now you see 2 cases here, and if you know anything about PTOs, you got position 3, 4, 5, and 6. Depending on which side of the transmission it goes on, where the output is, in what direction it is. And when I got it, it was for position 4. That's this case over here. So when I installed this onto the transmission, my transmission gear was over here, and the gear in this one was on this side. So it didn't work. And it took a long time to come in, like everything does these days. So I reached out to David, and lightning fast, I have to say, it was lightning fast. He got me a new case, and you have to change the shifter. 3 and 5, 4 and 6 location. The shifters are different, okay? And I knew I needed a shifter. He got me a warranty kit, basically, which had a new case, a new shifter, and UPS'd it right to me. And I made the swap, and everything is silky smooth. I did have to, I don't have all the bolts in here. The bolts come from the factory with a little bit of sealer on them. And when I took them out, I ruined that. And you know what we like to use when bolts go into oil. We use the Permatex 51813. So I'm going to get all the bolts sealed up with that. I did have to play around with the shimming. I used gaskets to shim the bearing preload, and I did have to play with that and make that right. But everything is silky smooth now, and I'm super happy with it. And that's ready to go onto the transmission. Now I left the cover off here because when we install this, I think you can hear the backlash in there. We want to make sure we don't install this thing too tight. I've seen guys, you get a bunch of gaskets with the kit. I've seen guys just put these up, put some RTV on there, slap them to the transmission, and boom, they explode. Check your backlash here. You can do this with a dial indicator, and if it's your first time, you might want to check what you got here for backlash. Make sure you have the same thing on the transmission. You don't want those gears too tight, and you're going to change that by how far in and out this goes into the transmission. That's going to change how tight your gears are. Got to have that tiny bit of backlash in there. When I first put that together, I put just a single speed, just a 1-speed PTO on there, and we're going to pull that off. We're going to put this in, and I'll show you how to get the proper backlash and stuff. That's why we leave this cover off. And then once we get it how we like it, we'll put the gasket and we'll set up our shifter. Okay, but that's not critical right now. I'm going to pull the engine out, get it out of the way, and get the camera set up so you can see it. And like I say, I can't say enough good things about Force America. If anybody has any PTO needs for any kind of truck, I mean, this is going to a GM SM465, but if you got a big Eaton or a Fuller or anything like that, you got anything, these guys will help you out. Again, it's Force America Distributing LLC. You can look them up on the internet. These are the only guys, and like I say, I reached out to about 6 different companies. I was going to compare, who's got good prices and this and that. That's out the window. That's completely out the window. Guys could have the best price, but if they won't sell you the item or they won't get back to you, it means nothing. Super happy with the company, and like I say, I would recommend them to anybody who needs any kind of drivetrain, U-joints or PTO parts or Chelsea or anything like that. Those guys are fantastic. And like I say, this took a while to get, but once we knew there was a problem, there was no question about, it's your fault, my fault, none of that. It was just, hey, I'm going to fix it. And he fixed it and zipped that stuff to me through the UPS lightning fast. And it's ready to be installed. So that's what we'll do next. Okay guys, we're just about ready to install this. And in your install pack, or if you don't have an install pack, I got 4 gaskets in my install pack. You could cut these yourself if you don't have any. Try and get you to see what we got going on here. Okay, that gasket is 10.5 thousandths thick. That gasket's 20.5 thousandths thick. That one's 20. And I got another 10. Okay, so I can use 1, 2, 3, or 4 of these depending how this fits on my transmission. No reason why you shouldn't get the proper backlash with this 4-pack system. I have plenty of different gasket materials, the vegetable paper and all different kinds of gasket materials. High-tech and really high temperature gaskets, but you don't need a crazy gasket here. You could just use basically anything. I'd probably use the vegetable paper here, but I do have these. If you don't, you're going to have to cut them and you're gonna need different thicknesses if you got to use one or something, or you could just, like I say, go to the Force company there, and they'll be able to set you up with a gasket kit. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this on the transmission and see if it locks up our gear. Okay, we got a little bit of backlash there. I think you can see it better here. Can you hear that? Okay, that's what we want. We need that. If the gears are tight, we're screwed. So I'm going to just put this on the transmission, see where we are, and from there, if it's super tight, I'll throw a 20 in there. Try it again. And I'm not saying bolt it down. I'm talking about just your rough adjustment here. Just put it up there, push it hard against the case. You don't need to nut it, and just see where you're at. So let's head over to the transmission. Okay guys, that's where we're headed. I thought the camera was rolling, but it wasn't. I put that up with no gasket, and I had just a tiniest bit of backlash. So I got a 10.5 thousandths thick gasket on there now. I'm going to put it back up, and we're going to try it again. Okay guys, it's tricky to get in here and not be in the way of the camera. Let me try and stay to the side. Hope you can see that okay. And we're gently going to put this okay. Now I've got good pressure on that. I'm going to reach in there and get to that gear that's meshing with the transmission. Can you guys hear that? I don't know if you can, but I know I got good backlash. 10.5 did it for me. Your setup may be different. Maybe you're going to take 20, maybe 40. Maybe you're going to take all of them. Maybe you can take 60 in there. I don't know. You're not going to know that until you do it. Like I said, we got away with 10.5. I know I have backlash. Feel good about that. We have our studs in there. We're going to get the nuts out. We're going to tighten that in. We're going to check the backlash again. You shouldn't lose much on the squeeze, but just check it again and make sure you got what you need. So we'll get this, we'll get the nuts on here, and we'll see where we're at. Okay guys, here's the studs and nuts that I'm using. This is the package right from Chelsea. 328170-76X. If you need that, you may be just replacing a PTO, or you may be putting a new one in. But if you need the stud and the nut kit, that's the part number for this 352 unit that I'm putting in. So I've got it hanging by a couple nuts. I'll go get these guys started. We'll torque it down and check it one last time. Okay guys, I got the PTO out again. I got it fully bolted up and everything went smooth, but then I noticed this stud, and this stud were touching the case. So naturally I was concerned that it wasn't tight to the case, the transmission case. So I took it apart again and I shortened those 3 studs. Plenty of room on these other 3, but those 3 that were just touching, I was worried it was going to screw up my backlash, and it wasn't tight. So I pulled it, I shortened them, and I put it back in, checked the backlash again. Now we're ready for the final bolt down. This is just stuff that you don't know is going to happen until you're doing it, and you know, you just got to roll with the punches as it happens. So it's out again, but it's going back in. And there is our hardware. Okay guys, we're fully installed. I just got to put the shift cover on. Everything is tight. I just want to show you. We got good backlash in there. This particular top bolt here and this top bolt here are kind of tricky to get at. I've got a little wrench that I always use. It's just a thinnest, crappiest box end 9/16 I had, you know, and I keep it laying around for that fits over the stud, and then you can get on there and you can tighten those. You don't have to gorilla tighten those. 35, 37 foot-pounds is all you need. Get you in on that wrench there. Like I say, those two top ones, they are tricky. But you got to get them tight, so don't leave them untightened. You know, I made the bell housing. That custom bell housing doesn't help us out, you know, for room. But here is the whole rig. SM465, original Willys, Dana 18, advanced adapters overdrive, 6-groove pulley to run the welder, and there's our 4BT. I've got the alternator on that now and the starter, and we're making good progress. This was the last big hurdle right here, getting the 2-speed PTO. But like I say, wouldn't have been able to do it without Force Distributing, and David down in Pennsylvania would not have been able to get this done because, like I say, nobody got back to me. It doesn't seem like anybody wants any new customers or wants to sell anything. I don't understand it, but the world is changing faster than I thought it ever would. But like I say, you need any kind of PTO stuff for any kind of truck. Force Distributing will help you out. So, I got to get the cover on, and I already shifted it by hand. I know everything's working good. I know all my bearings are set up right. I know we got the backlash right. This is going to be a long-lasting PTO, and we'll take some shots of it with the cover on it. Okay guys, there's the final little bit. Shift cover is on. And we're in neutral right now. That's one direction. And there's the other direction. Back to neutral. So on our cable, we'll have a shift cable here. On our cable we'll have the cable out a little bit for the neutral position. And we'll push it in or pull it out to get the direction on the winch that we want. But there it is, all finished up. And if you take your time, you can easily get your PTO in there and have a long life. If you just rush it and you jam it in there and you don't observe the right way to put it in, it'll blow out of there in no time. So take your time, do it right. Our whole assembly right now is just about ready. I got to work out some engine mounts for the 4BT. It's just about ready to start getting fit in the frame, and then, you know, we got to build the whole body around that. But that was our last piece to the puzzle. Thank you one last time to David over at Force Distributing. Appreciate everything you've done for me, and happy to promote your company. So, as always, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll catch you on the next video.